Okay, hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my March Madness predictions here. Before I continue, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and please subscribe. I'm feeling like we're going to get a lot of views on this, so please help the channel out and subscribe. I'm really trying to build it up, so please do that. I'm just going to go through the bracket, tell you who I think is going to win and lose, go game by game. Shouldn't take too long, but anyways, Duke versus whoever is North Dakota State or North Carolina Central, I believe. No explanation there. 8 versus 9 seed VCU versus UCF. I'm going VCU. I think VCU is the better team. I know UCF has that one very good player from Africa. His name escapes me. Sorry about that, UCF fans. I know you guys don't like me, but I think VCU is the better team. Mississippi State versus Liberty, the 5 versus 12. This is usually prone to an upset. Not this one. I'm going Mississippi State. Virginia Tech versus St. Louis. Give me Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech's the better team in this matchup. Maryland versus either Belmont or Temple. I'm a University of Terps fan. I'm a Maryland fan. You can call me a homer if you want, but I'm going Maryland. I'm going with my Terps. LSU versus Yale. Give me LSU. I don't care about the whole scandal with their head coach saying he's offering players to play for him for money. I don't care. So give me LSU. Louisville versus Minnesota. Give me Louisville, the better team in my opinion. I watch a lot of Big Ten, ACC, and SEC basketball since I'm on the East Coast. Louisville is better than Minnesota. And then Michigan State versus Bradley. Michigan State, no argument there. Now let's go to the South bracket. Virginia versus Gardner-Webb. If it was UMBC, I would pick UMBC honestly, but I'm not gonna do that. Give me Virginia. UMBC is actually a college in Maryland. Go Retrievers. Anyways, Ole Miss versus Oklahoma. This is a very interesting matchup. But I'm going to go Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is the better team. That's just my opinion. Next here, Wisconsin versus Oregon. Oregon's only in it because he won the Pac-12 championship. Kansas State versus UC Irvine. I'm very tempted to go with the upset here. And as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going with the upset. I think UC Irvine is probably one of the best non-Power 5 or Group of 5 basketball teams in the nation. So give me UC Irvine. Nova versus St. Mary's. Nova. I do want to congratulate St. Mary's from finally beating Gonzaga for once. It was nice to see that. But give me Nova to beat them in the first round. Purdue versus Old Dominion. I'm going Purdue. Purdue's the better team there. Cincinnati versus Iowa. This is an interesting matchup. Iowa likes playing fast. Cincinnati kind of a slow-paced team. I'm going to go ahead. I'm picking the upset. Iowa. Why not? Just give me Iowa. And Cincinnati's a good team. I'm just going with the upset. You got to go with your gut in March Madness. You can't go with your brain. You got to go with your gut. And then Tennessee versus Colgate. Give me Tennessee. Now to the bottom here, since my screen is pretty large. To the west, Gonzaga versus whoever they face. Fordham, Suffolk versus Prairie View. Gonzaga. Syracuse versus Baylor. Give me Syracuse. Syracuse is the better team. One of the only teams I could say they beat Duke this year. Marquette versus Murray State, the 5 versus 12. I am rolling with the upset. Give me Murray State. John Mornett is going to ball for them. Florida State versus Vermont. Florida State, they're a pretty good team. Florida State, unlike the football team, but that's a different video. But Florida State over Vermont. Buffalo versus either Arizona State or St. John's, I believe. It doesn't matter who wins the Arizona State or St. John's game. Buffalo's going to win this one. Texas Tech versus North Kentucky. Give me Texas Tech. Nevada versus Florida. Went back and forth for this one. I'm going with Nevada, but I'm not feeling too confident about it. But my gut's telling me Nevada. Michigan versus Montana. No explanation needed there. Now to the Midwest bracket. North Carolina versus Ina or Orna, however the hell you pronounce that. Give me North Carolina. Utah State versus Washington. This is a very interesting one. I'm going Utah State though. I think Utah State. This is going to be a very tight game in my opinion, but I think at the end of the day, give me Utah State. Auburn versus New Mexico State. Give me Auburn. Congrats Auburn on winning the SEC championship over Tennessee, absolutely dominating them. I was watching that earlier today. Great win. I think the momentum continues against New Mexico State. And then Kansas versus Northeastern. Give me Kansas. Kansas should beat Northeastern. Iowa State versus Ohio State. I do not understand why Ohio State's in the tournament. Give me Iowa State. I think NC State, a team that got snubbed, they're better than Ohio State in my opinion. I watch a lot of Ohio State. I know what they're about. They're not that good of a team. So give me Iowa State. Iowa State's not that much better, by the way. Houston versus Georgia State. Georgia State, I think will give them a game, but give me Houston. Warford versus Seton Hall. Give me Warford. This team was ranked at one point. They're probably they're kind of like UC Irvine, one of the best teams that aren't a Power 5 or Group of 5 team. And then Kentucky versus Abilene Christian. Give me Kentucky. Now to the round of 32. Duke versus VCU. Duke. VCU, I think, will give them a game, but give me Duke. Mississippi State versus Virginia Tech. Went back and forth for this one. I am going to go Virginia Tech. I think they're just a little bit better than Mississippi State. Maryland versus LSU. Now, if I really wanted to be a homer, I will pick Maryland. I don't think Maryland's going to beat LSU, even with Will Wade not coaching that team. So give me LSU. Louisville versus Michigan State. I really went back and forth for this one, but give me Michigan State in this one. Now to the South bracket, Virginia versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss could upset them, but give me Virginia. I think Virginia pulls it out. Wisconsin versus UC Irvine. Go ahead, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pick the upset UC Irvine. I know that's probably kind of bold, but you got to be a bit bold in March Madness if you want to win. Nova versus Purdue. Give me Nova in this one. Nova has really been clicking lately. To me, they're a better team than Purdue. Iowa versus Tennessee. Give me Tennessee in this one. Yes, I'm not that confident in this one, but I do think Tennessee is the better team. Now to the West bracket, Gonzaga versus Syracuse. Number 1 Gonzaga will be going down in the round of 32. Syracuse, in my opinion, they've just really been clicking lately. I know they lost against Duke, but listen, they're one of the only teams I could say they beat Duke. Same thing with Gonzaga. They're one of the only 2 teams that could say they beat Duke with Zion on the floor, because Zion Williamson, he missed a few games with injury. But Syracuse is one of the only teams I could say they beat Duke with Zion on the floor. So that's why I'm going. And I think Syracuse could compete with Gonzaga, and I think Syracuse will squeak by. Murray State versus Florida State. Give me Florida State. They're the better team. John Mornett is really the only person on Murray State. Florida State will shut them down, and this game could be actually a disaster for Murray State. Buffalo versus Texas Tech. I went back and forth for this one. I'm saying Texas Tech will squeak by, but I'm not too confident in it. And then Nevada versus Michigan. Give me Michigan. Michigan should win that one pretty easily. And now to the Midwest bracket, North Carolina versus Utah State. North Carolina, I think, will steamroll them. Auburn versus Kansas. Give me Auburn in this one. I think Auburn's a better team than Kansas personally, and that's why I'm rolling with them. Iowa State versus Houston. Give me Houston. And then Warford versus Kentucky. Warford will give them a game, but give me Kentucky. Now to the Sweet 16 games. Duke versus Virginia Tech. Yes, Virginia Tech did beat Duke, but that was without Zion on the floor. I think Duke will get revenge. LSU versus Michigan State. Really went back and forth for this one. I'm going to be a bit bold and say LSU in this one. Michigan State, I mean, yes, to me, they are the second best team in the Big Ten. But I think LSU, I think they're going to rally late in this game. I think they're going to squeak by and beat Michigan State. Virginia versus UC Irvine. Give me Virginia. I think UC Irvine's Cinderella story will end against Virginia. And then Nova versus Tennessee. Give me Nova. Tennessee, you could say I'm reacting to what I just saw, but they really left a bad taste in my mouth. I know Dick Vartel in the broadcast tried saying Tennessee's still a good team. The Tennessee game against Auburn today in the SEC championship just left a bad taste in my mouth. So that's why I'm going to go Nova over Tennessee. Syracuse versus Florida State. Give me Florida State. I think they're the better team than Syracuse. You look at the ACC rankings. That's all you need to know there. Texas Tech versus Michigan. Give me Michigan. Michigan's a better team than Texas Tech. North Carolina versus Auburn. I think Auburn's season ends here. Give me North Carolina. They are a much better team. North Carolina, to me, is either the second or third best team in this bracket. I mean, in college basketball in general. And then Houston versus Kentucky. Went back and forth for this one. I'm going to give it to Kentucky, though. I think Kentucky will squeak this one out. Now to the Elite Eight games. Duke versus LSU. Give me Duke. Duke should beat LSU easily, in my opinion. Virginia versus Nova. Give me Nova. I think Virginia. Listen, until Virginia can make a Final Four, until Virginia can make a Final Four, they're gonna have to prove it to me. So their season ends in the Elite Eight, and I think Nova, they've really been clicking chemistry-wise. So that's why I have Nova going ahead and making the Final Four. Early in the season, they looked like they were probably not going to be in the tournament, but now they're really clicking. Florida State versus Michigan. Give me Michigan. Michigan's the better team there. And then North Carolina versus Kentucky. I think this is going to be a really fun game, but give me North Carolina. So now you look at my Final Four. Duke versus Michigan, and then Nova versus North Carolina. Let's talk about the Duke-Michigan game first. Give me Duke. I think Duke is. I think they'll squeak by Michigan. Michigan will give them all they can handle, though. But Duke is just a little bit of a better team, in my opinion, with that three-headed monster and Zion Williamson. And you also remember this. You also have R.J. Barnett and Cam Reddish as well with Duke. Nova versus North Carolina. Give me North Carolina. North Carolina should beat Nova pretty easily, in my opinion. Now for the national championship, Duke versus North Carolina. Pretty ironic how they're going to be facing each other a fourth time this year if this comes true, which it should be. But anyways, who I'm going to pick? Duke, North Carolina. So should I go with Duke? Should I go with North Carolina? Duke, North Carolina. I'm going with Duke. Duke, I think, will win this game. I'll give you a score prediction as well. 76-70. The reason why the score is popping below that I typed in earlier is because I'm in a bracket with 20 of my friends. But anyways, I have Duke winning March Madness this year with Zion Williamson and the crew. The Duke Blue Brotherhood getting a championship, and Coach K getting a sixth championship. So this is my March Madness prediction. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'd like to hear your predictions as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm really trying to grow this channel. We will have updates and game recaps. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. If I'm going to do like every 2 or 3, or like or just do one video each day after all the games over, or one for each game. But we will have game updates on this channel for each March Madness game. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching again, and this is McD the Beast signing off.